Hello, I'm Theo Gilbert-Jamison with Performance Solutions by Design, and in this video segment we're covering the 7 signs of a bad boss. It's tough enough working in a highly competitive, sometimes stressful work environment. However, top that off with working for a bad boss and you may have a recipe for professional disaster. You see, bad bosses negatively impact the work environment, often fostering high levels of employee frustration, anxiety, resentment, and eventually high labor turnover. With this in mind, there are 7 signs of a bad boss that often determine their level of ineffectiveness. So let's start with number 1. Bad bosses have no clear goals. Therefore, the team has no clue of what is expected or what they should be working to achieve. Number 2. Bad bosses deliver poor or no communication. These are the silent types, often leaving employees clueless as to how they're doing, good or bad, in their job performance. Number 3. Bad bosses hold no one accountable. When there is no communication of team standards or goals, bad bosses really can't hold anyone accountable for excellence or even mediocre job performance. Number 4. Bad bosses often blame others when things don't go as planned or expected. You see, bad bosses often point fingers at everyone except themselves, especially when their team doesn't perform up to par. Number 5, bad bosses have no strategy for improvement or team success, stubbornly believing that strategizing is a waste of time. They just don't bother. Number 6, bad bosses never delegate. There is no employee empowerment because bad bosses often fail to properly train and delegate challenging tasks to their teams. And finally, number 7, bad bosses don't mentor. To them, training and development of their staff and mentoring again is a waste of time. They often think, no one trained me and I turned out all right. So there you have it, the 7 signs of a bad boss. But it's not enough to know what they are. As we close, I'd also like to provide you with a few simple tips that you can start implementing right away to improve your effectiveness as a team leader, supervisor, or manager. 1, make sure that you commit to more open, honest, and consistent communication with your team. 2, make sure your team is aware of key goals and priorities that are expected of them to foster an environment of self-accountability. And most important, 3, make time to train, develop, and empower your team so that they feel appreciated and become valued contributors to the success of the organization. Bottom line, while bad bosses negatively impact the work environment in many ways, there are a few simple things that every leader can do to improve the work environment and drive excellence. It just takes a little commitment. Hello, I'm Theo Gilbert-Jamison with Performance Solutions by Design. And in this segment, we're focusing on the role of mid-managers in driving excellence. Just like senior leaders, mid-managers also play a tremendous role in creating and sustaining a culture of excellence. So let's take a brief moment to focus on simple actions and behaviors that mid-managers should emulate to drive excellence. And I'm going to start with this question. Why is the mid-manager's role so crucial? Well, you see, mid-managers and supervisors have a direct impact on the work environment created for their team, as well as the overall customer experience. And therefore, there are 5 key actions that they are also strongly accountable for. 1, align your team with the company vision and mission to ensure all job activities, key priorities, and team expectations are consistent with the organization's vision and mission. 2, set service expectations to ensure employees have a clear understanding of what an exceptional customer experience should look, sound, and feel like. This will also ensure consistency in the delivery of exceptional service. 3, integrate expectations into the work environment. Service expectations should be incorporated as part of your performance review process, job-specific training. It should be used to recognize exemplary employee performance and as a coaching tool when improvement is required. 4, communicate often. When it comes to creating a culture of service, performance, and operational excellence, repetition is good, just as it takes 21 times of doing something consistently to form a habit. Therefore, mid-managers should repeat what is expected regularly so that it becomes second nature. And 5, hold your team accountable for excellence. Once you have established and communicated what is expected in driving excellence, hold your team accountable by recognizing and rewarding consistent behavior and providing coaching and counseling for employees who fall below what is expected. Don't be afraid to address unacceptable behavior of employees that may be stifling the team's ability to drive excellence. So there you have it, the role of mid-managers in driving excellence. And if you incorporate the 5 essentials that I've outlined as part of your daily regimen, you will be well on your way or well on the road to creating and sustaining a culture of excellence. Never forget that driving excellence starts with you. Creating a culture of service, performance, and operational excellence is a journey, not a destination. And guess what? As soon as you feel that you've achieved it, along comes increased competition, which forces you to be even more innovative in your approach. Regrettably, without commitment, strong leadership, role modeling, and innovation, it is impossible to maintain a competitive advantage within any industry. So the question is, what is the role of leadership or senior leadership in driving excellence? Well, there are 6 things that senior leadership should be accountable for. 1 is to set the vision. Senior leadership is responsible for making sure that the vision is clear. They must provide clarity concerning where the organization is going and what it aspires to be in 5, 10, or 15 years. 2nd, be a champion of excellence. Senior leaders, you cannot relegate driving excellence to someone else because you're too busy. You must be the #1 guardian and champion of excellence throughout and within your organization. 3, or 3rd, communicate what you expect. Use every opportunity available, employee meetings, newsletters, videos, even social media, to share your perspective of how driving a higher level of excellence will not only impact the organization's financial bottom line, but also increase employee engagement and ultimately customer loyalty. 4th, create a we mentality. Create an environment that is all-inclusive in driving excellence. To do that, we should use words like we and our as often as possible when communicating. This verbalizes that you are part of the initiative and not standing on the sideline observing. 5th, involve employees. Engage all staff in the process of driving excellence by soliciting their input, implementing their ideas and solutions that will advance the organization, and by recognizing sustained superior performance. And 6, hold managers accountable. Make it clear to all leaders and supervisors that compromising in driving excellence is not an option, and that you are relying on their active involvement throughout the process. So there you have it, the role of senior leadership in driving excellence, and I'm sure that this list will prompt you to consider additional things that you need to be aware of. However, first start by simply committing to these 6 tips, and you will see a significant difference in the way your workforce also perceives their individual roles in driving excellence. Hello, I'm Theo Gilbert-Jamison with Performance Solutions by Design, and in this video segment, we're focusing on the 3 dangers. There are 3 monumental challenges that leaders typically face when implementing a service excellence initiative. And guess what? They also impede your ability to effectively lead your team. These 3 dangers are in no particular order. However, they are bound to show up in some point and manner in your service excellence journey of raising the bar and elevating the customer experience. And depending on the maturity of your organization, these 3 dangers may appear unique or one and the same. Unfortunately, if you cannot control these 3 dangers from the onset, your service excellence initiative will not be sustainable. So my question for you is, what are the 3 dangers? Well, the first is compromise, often defined as making concessions. However, when it comes to holding your team accountable for raising the bar and elevating the customer experience, compromising established service expectations of your organization should never be tolerated. The second danger is a lack of accountability, often defined as not holding people responsible. When you don't hold people accountable, often it leads to mediocre or subpar customer service. And that third danger is inconsistency, defined as following no predictable pattern or simply lacking consistency. Allowing inconsistency not only creates pockets of excellence throughout the organization, but also slowly erodes employee engagement, customer loyalty, and ultimately profitability. So there you have it, the 3 dangers that impede the achievement of excellence. And if you find any of them seeping into your work environment, commit to working side by side with your team to eradicate them, and you will be well on your way to raising the bar and elevating the customer experience from average to extraordinary.